I'm down $1,200 after busting 2 bullets in the $600 250K guaranteed tournament at the Win. Now we're going to play 2-5 cash. I'm on tilt. This should be interesting. Did I play this hand well or did I get lucky? I'm in middle position with Jack 9 of spades. I raised to 20. The button calls, the big blind calls. We're headed to a flop 3 ways with 62 in the middle. It's a dream flop for my hand. King 10 Jack with 2 spades. We flop middle pair. We flop a gut shot. And we have a flush draw. I continue for 40 on the flop, trying to bet big, but not crazy big to keep them in the hand. One player comes along, which is the button to the turn. The turn comes the 4 of diamonds. My flush draw doesn't get there. My straight draw doesn't. I still have middle pair of jacks. I don't want to continue betting here. I want to see what my opponent's going to do. Maybe I can get a free card. I decide to check. Now he bets for 125, which is a pretty sizable bet on the turn. I definitely can't go anywhere with my hand. I make the call for 125. The dealer puts the river out, and it's the queen of hearts. My straight draw gets there. I don't have the ace, but I don't think he has the ace either. I check the river, hoping my opponent's going to bet, but he doesn't. He flips over king, queen. He rivered 2 pair on the same card. I rivered a straight. I win a nice size pot. Going for the check raise is so much fun. I have king jack off. I'm early position. I raise it up to 20. 2 players make the call, including the button. We're going to a flop 3 ways. We flop the nuts straight. It's queen 10-9 with 2 diamonds. We have jack king for the nuts. I make a half pot size bet of $30, trying to get somebody to continue. The button continues. Now we're going heads up to a turn card. Not the best turn. It's the jack of spades. We already had the straight. Now if he had king queen, ace king, he now has a straight with the king, potentially the ace. I decide to slow down a little bit and deceive my opponent, make him think that I didn't have the king, going for the check raise on the turn, and he ends up betting 55 and I raise it to 150 and my opponent makes the call. The river comes out, the 6 of spades, which is a clean river card. The flush doesn't end up getting there. We still have the king for the top end straight. I bet 200 on the river, going for value from my opponent. He thinks for a little bit, folds his card straight into the muck. He probably had 2 pair or 1 pair and a flush draw, and we end up taking down a solid pot after check raising on the turn. I can't keep paying my opponents off in these spots. I got pocket queens. I'm in the big blind. Under the gun makes it 15. A couple positions later is a slightly older gentleman. He makes it $50, and when he does this, you have to assume he has kings or aces or queens. The fact that we have queens, he probably has kings or aces. It gets around to me. I'm in for $5. I obviously have to call the $50 bet with pocket queens. The other player folds his cards. Now we're going to a flop heads up. The flop comes 8-8 deuce with 2 spades, which is a really strong flop. I check into my opponent. He bets pretty small for $50. On the off chance that he does have ace king, I threw in a raise to $150, trying to get some information off my opponent. He calls the 150. Now I gotta be thinking I'm in big trouble. The turn card comes out, the 3 of clubs. If we were good, we're still good. That doesn't affect anything. My opponent has about $500 in front of him. Now I think he's got aces or kings, but there still is an off chance he could have ace king, ace queen, ace jack. I don't think he's got a lower pair. I think he has aces, kings, or one of those. I bet 175, which means he would have $386 more. If he went all in. I should be able to get away from it at this point. My opponent thinks for a minute and a half and eventually says all in, and I'm just on tilt. I lost 2 tournament bullets earlier for 600 each. I can't believe my opponent really has kings or aces when I have queens pre-flop. It's just insane. I couldn't believe it. Therefore, I made the call eventually and was very sad to see that my opponent had pocket queens. The river came out a jack of hearts and we doubled this man up. I just can't believe I keep losing in these spots. If you want to play online poker from anywhere at any time with any stakes, check out Phenom Poker. I've been playing on there a ton. They got no limit holdem, PLO, a ton of different offerings of game selection and stakes. The link is in my bio if you want to get in. The nut flush draw blocker can be very valuable. I'm on the button. We have ace of hearts, 10 of clubs. It folds around to the cutoff, who makes it 15 to go. I obviously call. The big blind call. calls. We're now going to a flop 3 ways with $47 in the middle. The flop comes ace, king, deuce with 2 hearts. First player checks. The original raiser pre-flop makes it 20 bucks on the flop. I call, the other player folds. We now go to a turn. The 7 of hearts comes on the turn. We now have the nut flush blocker, but I'm going to act like we have the flush. My opponent bets $65 on the turn. I just flat call, letting him know that I want him to bluff on a later street if he doesn't have it. The river comes out, the queen of diamonds. He now bets $185, and if I went all in, I would have about $220 more that he would have to call, and that's what I end up doing because it's the only play in this spot. I could fold, and he has me beat, but if I do want to win the pot, I use my ace of hearts as a blocker that he can't have the nut flush. I go all in. He shows his cards. He had 8, 9 of hearts, which he shows me before he even folded, and he throws his cards into the muck eventually. I show him the 1 card, which was the ace of hearts, and we win a big size pot with a nice bluff. Did I play this hand correctly? We're on the button. We got pocket 8s. It gets raised to 15. The cutoff makes it 55. I'm obviously going to call with pocket 8s. It shows major strength that I'm cold calling. The other player calls as well. We now have 165 in the middle with 3 players. I got position. The flop comes queen, queen, deuce with 2 diamonds. Both players, interestingly enough, check it over to me. I want to bet to protect my pocket aces a little bit. It looks like I have a really big hand. I bet 125. The original raiser folds, and the 3-better comes along to the turn. The turn card is the 6 of clubs. My opponent checks again. Now I want to bet because I don't think he has a queen, and I think I'm ahead at this point. I make it $225 to go on the turn. My opponent thinks for a little bit, and he throws in the call. The river comes the jack of spades. My opponent once again checks after 3-betting pre-flop. It's all getting kind of sketchy. I decide to check my 8s, thinking that I'm good, and he flips over pocket aces. Absolutely insane. I keep getting into big hands with aces, kings, and it just doesn't matter what I have against those hands. Nobody ever believes me at the poker table. I'm in the big blind. We have 3-5 off. The cutoff raises to $15. Everybody else folded, and I defend my big blind. We go to a flop heads up. The flop comes ace, deuce, jack with 2 hearts. We flop a gut shot to the nuts. I check. My opponent bets $15. I make the call. The turn card comes the 9 of hearts. I check. My opponent bets $35. He bet pre-flop. He bet on the flop. The flush comes on the turn, and he still continues. It looks like he's not scared of anything. I raise on the turn to try to indicate that I have a flush. I make it 140. My opponent thinks for a little bit. He makes the call on the turn. He doesn't believe me. We go to the river card, which is the queen of spades. I have about 350 behind me. I just shove all in on the river, letting my opponent know that I'm supposed to have a flush in this spot the way I played it. He snap calls me. He had the flush, and he just kept betting the draw. He turned it 7-5 of hearts to beat me when I bluffed it all off with absolutely nothing. Very rough night at the tables. I busted 2 bullets in the $600 tournament. Then I went to 2-5 with $1,000 already on tilt. I bluffed it off in my last pot of the session. I'm down $2,200 tonight. This is my worst day playing poker since I started playing after the main event run. But the good thing is, I went 3-1 betting sports today. I won over $7,000, so that means at the end of the day, I'm up about $5,000 after poker and sports. I'm just gonna go get some rest, charge up for tomorrow, but overall, a very profitable day.